Great atmosphere in Hampden as the 50th Scottish League Cup final gets underway. It's a competition that over the years has been dominated by Rangers, who've won it 19 times. Celtic have won it 9, and Aberdeen, in terms of previous wins, come in joint third with Hearts. It's an early throw for the Dons, who've won this trophy on 4 previous occasions. This is McKimmie, their captain. Glass has made the early break into the box. And within the first 40 seconds, a severe test of Dundee's mettle. Miller's attempted cross is cleared. And eventually, Dundee have cleared their ranks. And certainly there's a fellow called Ralph Brand who'll be delighted that Duncan Shearer didn't make that ball, because the fact that Aberdeen haven't scored in the opening 30 seconds mean that he's got the quickest goal of the tournament for Brechin, which came after 24 seconds in the first round. So he's £500 the richer. Smith and Ingles. The Aberdeen goalkeeper, Michael Watt. That was the other area of doubt in the Aberdeen team, whether Theo Snelders would make it. But his back injury was not to be risked by Aberdeen's manager, Roy Aitken. George Shaw. Foul by Jess. And a free kick to Dundee, which will be taken by Morten Weghorst. It was who attacked the ball. It was cleared well by Bernard. And Bernard is in there again. Clearance by Michel Pajot. And Dobbs just tripped. Jess, who really could be a key figure in this final for Aberdeen. Bernard. Good run on that far side by Grant. Might come to Dodds. Verto just got a header in there. Tosh clears not too far. This is Glass! It was dipping and it wasn't too far over from Stephen Glass.
Yeah, that was a great effort. I think Stephen Glass has been one of the finds of the season so far. And I think, with all due respect, I think they keep it out of cover, but it was a great effort.
Native of Dundee is Glass, but he was a United supporter as a boy, so it would have been a particularly sweet goal for him. And 6 months ago, this match could have had very different connotations when Aberdeen was staring relegation in the face. Tosh has won the corner off Glass. Aberdeen only survived relegation after a playoff with Dunfermline, but they almost played Dundee at that stage. Dunfermline only got through to the playoffs, which were for promotion from the First Division, because they were 2 goals better off than this Dundee side. Here's McCann, very promising player, already a Scottish under-21 international. And the header came in from Manley.
Yeah, he was well up there at the corner. I think it's amazing what you said earlier on there about Aberdeen last year fighting for relegation. It's like 2 different sides. This year, Big Roy's got a playing full of confidence and like a different team.
Dundee, meanwhile, are still bubbling around in the First Division, battling for promotion this season. Glass. Miller. Clearance by Duffy. This is McKimmie. He shaped for the shot, and Manley was strong enough to withstand it. And a little tug there on Paul Tosh.
Yeah, you can see here, he gets in front of Joe Miller, uses his body well, and Joe, I think he just clips him there. But I think that'll be one of the determining factors in the game today. I think Paul Tosh is very, very quick, and I think Dundee have got to exploit his pace.
Gary Smith, a composed defender.
Yeah, I think so. I think Gary Smith, I must admit, I'm a big fan of Gary Smith. I think he's a very, very underrated player. And in all honesty, I think he'll be involved in the Scotland setup in the near future. I think he's a good player.
First 5 minutes gone and no score. But Jim Duffy, the Dundee manager, felt that the first 15 minutes would be the most crucial to his team as they look to settle, and they're facing a test here with Jess. He's away from Neil Duffy, and it's Verto in the end who makes the tackle.
Yeah, that was good defending from Verto there. I think with Jess running at me to show a lot of composure there, which he did do.
Ingles conceding the throw. There's only one player in this Dundee team with previous experience of a final. That's Tommy McQueen, who played in the Scottish Cup final. And that is why Jim Duffy feels this opening quarter of an hour would be crucial to the settlement of his team.
Yeah, I think we can see here he's just caught offside, but it's very important what you're saying here that Jim Duffy gets his side settled a bit early on in the game. And to be fair to them, I think it looks that way at the moment. I think they've composed themselves, and Aberdeen are taking the game to them, but they look quite comfortable at the moment indeed.
Certainly, having made that important challenge on Ian Jess will boost the confidence. McKimmie. Jess prompting, looking for Ingles. And Ingles just giving Neil Duffy a little shove.
Yeah, that could be a threat as well. Big Ingles, he's very good in the air, Big John, and I think he'll go for a lot of set pieces, as was the case there.
Duffy, the man offended against, he's actually the manager's cousin. And there is the manager. It really is a dream come true for Jim Duffy at 36 years of age. Forced to give up the game at one stage because of a knee problem. George Shaw was offside. Roy Aitken, who's actually a former teammate of Duffy's, they were both at Celtic together, but Aitken managed to hold the shirt that Duffy himself coveted. Verto with the throw. Header away by McKimmie. Enjoying the atmosphere as it is at Hampden Park really for the last time, because the South Stand is due to be demolished as part of the refurbishment soon. This is Jess. Another good burst from Jess, but again he's held up just at the wrong moment for him. That time by Manley. This is Miller. Four waiting in the penalty area. Miller's tricked his way past Verto, and he can't squeeze it in from the angle.
I'd say that was brilliant from Joe Miller. Just a little bit unfortunate that the cross wasn't the same quality as the turn. Here you see him taking on Verto here. And Verto, to be fair to him, reads the initial move, and Rejo comes back on it. A lovely piece of skill here. Yeah, lovely. And it's just a shame about the cross.
I saw in Dundee's semi-final how Neil McCann got a great finish from a difficult angle. This was a lot more difficult for Miller.
Yeah.
McCann says he's often been asked if that goal was a fluke. He claims it was intended.
Well, not been wanting to claim goals that aren't mine. I would have thought a touch of luck about it.
This is the area where they might just start to be a little unsettled. Maybe that was just a little sign of edginess. Jess. Well, he went for it. It was headed away by Jim Duffy. Dodds was at the edge of the penalty area calling for the pass, but Jess has started in confident and purposeful move. And just barging McCann off the ball to try and reach that pass from Gary Smith.
Yeah, I think McCann did well there. He sort of conned Gary Smith into the pass there. We'll hear Aberdeen in the attack again.
Here's Smith. Shearer. This is Bernard. He'd spotted the run by Stephen Glass. They were looking to line it up for Dodds, and it was turned away crucially by Roddy Manley.
It was good defending there, but Aberdeen are looking dangerous with Jess and Glass pushing forward.
Now here's McCann. A stream of 4 players have pushed up to the edge of the penalty area for Dundee. This is Weghorst. Verter. Still left players forward. Tosh thought he'd been clearly obstructed by McKinney. Referee Mottram was unimpressed by that appeal.
Well, not having the hindsight, I would think it looked a free kick to me, I must admit.
Here's Bernard. Shearer doing the retrieving. Confident and composed stuff by Verto and Tosh. This is Weghorst. Jess was in on him so quickly, but he's done well. Too long from Tosh for George Shaw.
Good football out of defence here from Dundee. I think Weghorst, arguably one of the best footballers on show today, and I think Dundee will look for a lot from him.
Shearer. Played back by Manley. Just ferrying the ball out to Tommy McQueen. This is Hamilton, who's not really been able to get into the game yet. Shearer. Comfortably held by Jim Duffy. There's no question about Jim Duffy just selecting himself for the privilege of playing in a final, Ali. He was man of the match, wasn't he, in the semi-final?
He certainly was. He was outstanding against Aberdeen. And as I said earlier, it's fairy tale stuff to think that Jim at 36 is out there today, and he'll thoroughly enjoy the whole day, that's for sure.
Tosh. This is Jess. Shearer, Dodds up ahead of him. Miller calling for it on the left. Overhit for Billy Dodds.
I think from Scotland's point of view, it's great to see Ian Jess back to some of the form that we know he can produce. I think last year he had a little bit of a barn spell, but it's great to see him back. And from a personal point of view, I think he's far better in the middle of the park, just off the front two. And from Aberdeen's point of view, I think they'll be looking for a lot from him today as well.
Aiken will probably be having to fight off bids for Ian Jess if he continues his form, because his contract is up at the end of this season. Miller. That was Manley. McKinney. Glass under strong pressure from Weghorst. Hamilton tried to win it, but has given it to Jess. Number 9, Bernard, to Miller. Talk about this being Jim Duffy's final. It's one that brought you a fair bit of success, Ali.
That's right, I've been very, very fortunate in it. 8 winners' medals. Not like they've been embarrassed blowing my trumpet there, but 8 winners' medals, yeah. Been quite a good tournament for me.
It's not a bad record. Well, they're almost through that quarter of an hour barrier, the First Division team. Seemed in the build-up to be slightly more favoured than Wraith were when they came here as a First Division outfit against Premier Division Celtic last year. But then Wraith's own example. Miller. He was hoping it would swerve in a little.
That was a fair effort from Joe Miller. I think Verto's going to have his problems cut out with him. Here you see him cutting inside. Jim Hamilton is a fair effort. What was it, Paul Tonshaw? But I think from the spectator's point of view, I think that it's important, both wingers, Joe Miller and Neil McCann, he see the shot here just come by. I think it's important that they get forward and they try to do a bit of damage in the final third from both Dundee and Aberdeen's point of view.
Aberdeen causing the most alarm so far. 6 years since they last won this trophy, and they beat Rangers, dare I mention.
Yeah, they certainly did. They beat us 2-1, I think. 2 goals with Paul Mason, I think. I think one of them was offside. There you are.
Manley looking to launch it for Hamilton.
I think there's a man that's come into his own this season as well, Michael Watt. I think for the few years he's been understudy to Theo Snelders, who in my opinion is one of the best goalkeepers in Scotland, and obviously he's learned his trade well, and it's great to see Michael Watt come through.
McKinney. Shearer. This is Dodds. Bernard. Stuart McKinney. Jess lining it up. A little less successful than Miller was moments earlier.
That's right, a little bit off target. But as you can see, as the game's progressing, I think a lot of the Aberdeen stuff's come through Ian Jess, and he's not frightened to have a go there, but it was well off target.
Well, Aberdeen certainly managed to keep Scott Booth's injury secret from Jim Duffy, and Duncan Shearer's presence in the side must present him with all sorts of different problems.
It certainly will, because in my opinion Shearer's more of a 6-yard penalty box predator, and he'll sniff a goal out of it, nothing. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Duncan Shearer's name is on the score sheet today.
Miller. Dodds is up there. Hamilton's touch, this is Shaw. Made a lot of ground in field, laid off by Hamilton. A good intervention by Smith.
It certainly was. That's what Smith does best. He just reads the game so well, and that was danger for Aberdeen, but he read the situation very clearly and intercepted the pass.
Roy Aitken might have been a little concerned that it was so incisive from George Shaw. First real threat that Dundee have managed to pose, but they're building in confidence a little. Tosh unable to reach the flick from Jim Hamilton, who was an Aberdeen supporter as a boy.
Yeah, I think that's fair comment what Jim Duffy said. I think the first 15-20 minutes were very, very important today to let a lot of the young lads settle, and they've certainly done that. I think Dundee will come into the game more now.
Billy Dodds. Nice flick from Grant. Now Miller trying his luck on the other side. Dodds and Jess and Shearer making moves to the edge of the penalty area. Glass was the supporting player to his left. It got a little congested. Build-up has to be a bit more patient. This is Glass to McKinney. Shearer let it go. And Dodds was looking for the little touch.
Yep, I think Billy Dodds is looking for a flick on there from Duncan Shearer. But it's interesting to see that Wee Joe Miller's changed flanks there. He's over to try his luck with Tommy McQueen, so that should be interesting.
Neil Duffy found Weghorst in his way as he attempted to direct that. Weghorst's touch, this is Shaw. Tosh. Neil Duffy has gone on ahead. He's calling for it, and real tangle between Tosh and Glass.
That was an interesting decision. Two of them colliding there. I think the referee got it right, to be fair to him. I think Tosh just pulled Stephen Class back. Doesn't look too happy about it, but I think the referee got it right.
Word of warning for Tosh. Free kick to Aberdeen. McKinney the taker. Shearer. Grant. Dodds had been successfully policed there by Verto.
He was. That was Brian Grant pushing forward there. He's settling at right back this season, Aberdeen side. I prefer him, I must admit, in the middle of the park. He's a good stalwart for the Aberdeen side in the middle of the park. But he's been playing well at right back so far this season.
Dodds has got a date with the SFA to come later this month. The disciplinary hearing into the infamous league match with Rangers. Dodds in action again there with a little touch, but Shearer was offside. Dundee supporters delighted to be at Hampden for the first time in a cup final in 22 years, but you have to feel disappointed for fans from both sides who've not been able to come here because of the postal strike, and their tickets are somewhere caught up in the logjam as a result of the industrial dispute.
That's right, it's a real shame actually, because I believe the 17,000 or so tickets just went immediately up in Dundee, and it's a shame some of them can't be here today.
Nice touch from Bernard. This is Miller. Grant is through well. Shearer has to try and hold off Duffy, and he's done so. Miller goes for it, and it's scrambled away.
Yeah, that was a great move. Paul Bernard did really well there. Obviously Aberdeen's most expensive signing, did really well breaking forward, and a good flick through to Shearer, who turned well in the box, and Joe Miller was just unlucky not to get in the end of it. Here we see it here, lovely through ball, and Shearer uses his body very, very well. He's strong there against Jim Duffy, and gets the ball across, and wee Joe just unlucky to get in the end of it. Good defending and all the same, but Tom McQueen clears it.
Another example perhaps of the different sort of problem Shearer poses to Booth.
That's right, Duncan's obviously a lot stronger. I don't doubt for a minute that Aberdeen will miss Scott Booth, but I think Duncan Shearer's got his own qualities.
Clearance by Duffy. This is Tosh. Smith closed him down so quickly. Bernard, another lovely ball. This is Shearer. Grant. Clearance by McQueen. Smith was inviting trouble really there with Shaw and Hamilton. Tosh. Well, Dundee are certainly keeping them pegged back and giving them a few worrying moments. McCann gamely has made the run.
Yeah, he did very, very well there. He put Michael Watt under a bit of pressure there, showed a bit of pace in closing the goalkeeper down, and he's got a throw in for it.
Watt certainly phased enough by McCann's presence. Tosh. There's Duffy coming through. And cleared by Dodds. Verto.
Yeah, I have to say that was a little bit of a chance there for Dundee, but a good defender. I think it was Brian Grant to get the tackle in on Duffy there. Here we see it again. It's a good through ball. Tosh, good header. And it's Smith. It's actually Smith that gets the tackle. It was a good tackle, but there's a chance, half chance.
Neil Duffy again. Smith to Shearer. Dodds locating Miller. Three in the middle. And Duffy up behind Bernard. McKinney. Dodds left it. This is Shearer. Dodds continuing the run, but Verto had tracked him. Nice little link up between the two strikers.
It certainly was. It was nice stuff here. Does let it run through him, and Shearer gave him the return ball, but good defending from Verto. Here you see it, lovely over. Shearer gives it back, but Verto read the situation well and had it covered.
Shearer looking to cause harm from the corner now. Miller takes it. Oh!
Chance.
McKimmy's header.
Yep, that's the best chance of the game so far. A good corner, and I don't know who's picking Stuart McKimmy up, but as you see, comes in here, a header from 8 yards. Unlucky. She maybe hit the target from there.
Real golden opportunity for Aberdeen, and Stuart McKimmy knocks it over. McKimmy, the man who has the dream of eventually lifting the cup at the end of the day, and he might have set Aberdeen on the path to doing just that. Certainly the clearest opening that either side have had so far. Play continues despite that foul by Glass on Verto, and the advantage might accrue to Aberdeen here. This is Dodds. Two players, Jim Duffy and Tommy McQueen, converged on him. Glass. Played in low. Manley is strong.
Yeah, it just seems to me as though Aberdeen have lifted the tempo a little bit, and the pace of the game seems to have increased.
To absorb a little bit of pressure, and now the name of Dusan Verto is being taken by referee Mottram.
He's booking him for something. I don't know whether he's booking him for feigning injury or maybe he said something, but his name's in the book, that's for sure.
He got the ball across, and it's turned out for a corner. Miller, but the corner has to be retaken because there's another booking. It's Jim Hamilton this time who's in trouble.
Well, I don't know what that's for him. Maybe he said something.
On the face of it, they appear to have been two very needless bookings. That is a yellow card for Jim Hamilton. Miller's corner. Glass. Verto, the first man booked.
If looks could kill, I think he was looking at the referee there.
It's McKimmy's throw. Too far away from that. Jim Duffy clears. Weghorst. Hamilton. Shaw reaching well. But Gary Smith was there again. They might be relying a little too heavily on Gary Smith for Roy Aitken's liking at the moment. Verto with the throw. Neil Duffy challenging. Clearance by Glass to McQueen.
I think from both teams' point of view, it's important that they get the wingers involved. I think Aberdeen should get the ball as quickly as possible wide to Joe Miller, and Dundee would like to see the ball in the final third to Neil McCann.
Here is Miller. Glass has made the run. but quite prepared to let that go for the goal kick.
I think of the two sides at the moment with half an hour gone, I think, to be fair to Dundee, I think they'll be the happier side. We mentioned earlier on about them settling. They've settled reasonably well, and I think Dundee at this moment in time are the happier of the two teams.
Already claimed 2 Premiership scalps on their way to the final. They beat Kilmarnock in the 3rd round. They beat Hearts as well in the 4th, although that was a match concluded on a penalty shootout that Dundee won 5-4.
They certainly did, and it was a fabulous game. I remember it well. I think it was 4-4 after extra time. It was a great game.
So they certainly can't write off their pedigree. Jess. And again Ian Jess. So 3 players waiting in the middle, joined by a 4th Glass as the cross comes in from Brian Grant. Tosh, having hoped that it would go for the goal kick, found himself having to rescue that from 2 Aberdeen players close to it. This is Glass. Shearer! He went for it with some conviction, but he and Jim Duffy both missed it.
That's right. He peeled off Jim Duffy there pretty well, and Jim was always struggling because he was going back in his heels, but thankfully for Dundee, it went out for a bye kick.
Right through them all. Well, not only are they past the quarter of an hour barrier, the half-hour barrier as well too now. It's a surprise in many respects that we haven't had a goal to one team or the other. The way it started, I hope I'm not tempting fate in saying this.
I was going to say that myself. It's inevitable. Tempting fate here is going to be enough in each draw here. But before the game, you'd have backed the pumped for goals, that's for sure.
So let's see what Dundee can produce from this. It's Berta. Neil Duffy. A little bit of anxiety there for Watt, and he had to get his fingertips to it.
He certainly looks a threat coming forward at set pieces and throw-ins and stuff like that, Neil Duffy. And that was a good header which was touched over the bar to safety. Here you see it was a great cross actually from Berto, and he gets up well. Yep, it's a good header. And the goalkeeper, I think it was going over, but he just touches it over to be sure.
McCann's corner, and Neil Duffy in there again, but it was safe handling by Michael Watt.
Yeah, that wouldn't have done his confidence any harm at all. A, the touch over the bar, and B, coming for the corner and collecting it safely.
May not have been the regular goalkeeper over the course of the season, but he's had a couple of games in this competition, including that semi-final win over Rangers that we're not supposed to talk about with Alan McCoist here. McKimmie. Glass has made the burst. Chance here for Shearer. Good save, but Dodds is there. And Billy Dodds has scored against his former club. (1-0) to Aberdeen.
Yeah, it was a good goal, well taken. Got a little bit of the break of the ball. I think the goalkeeper had the initial good save. That's a lovely ball there. The Stephen Glass, who powers through and sends over a great ball to Shearer. He just misses it. The keeper makes a good stop, but Billy Dodds following up, alert as ever, and that's a good goal. Good striker's goal. Lovely run through from Glass in between the two defenders. Great cross. Shearer just misses it. I think the goalkeeper gets a good touch, and Dodds is there to knock it over the line.
Acrobatic attempt by the goalkeeper to keep it out. The predatory instincts of Billy Dodds, who was the semi-final hero with 2 goals, on course to be the final hero as well at the moment.
That's right, it looks like that's his favourite goal. That's when he struck both times against Rangers in the semi-final, sadly enough.
Happily for Aberdeen, they've asserted themselves in the final. Now we'll see what the First Division team are made of. Weghorst. McCann. This is Shearer. Shearer's presence certainly was enough in that incident when Glass put the ball in to put goalkeeper Pajot and Jim Duffy off.
He certainly did. I think the goalkeeper, to be fair, were a collective. I think he thought Duncan Shearer was going to get a header on goal, which he just missed, but it was enough to divert the goalkeeper's attentions.
Here's Jess. Good defensive work by Dundee. Ingles. This is Glass. Going right into the area where he set up the goal. It comes off Neil Duffy.
Yeah, that was good play from Aberdeen. John Ingles did very, very early breaking forward and slipped the ball. Glass was through again. Here's the goal. Nice goal, dodgy, just about his range. But I think Aberdeen will definitely get their tails up.
And the back four is holding firm. But the midfielders are getting forward very rapidly in support, pouring forward despite Aberdeen having taken the lead. Grant. Billy Dodds. Grant thought he should have had the free kick.
Yeah, it looked a free kick to me.
What can Dundee make of the counter? This is McCann. Hasn't really been able to get into the game yet, McCann. Finds Hamilton. Weghorst. There are three players waiting in the penalty area. And he got it across, but the linesman was flagging that he had gone behind.
Very important stage of the game now for both sides. If Aberdeen get another goal, they'll fancy themselves to kill it off. But from Dundee's point of view, they could do an equaliser before half-time.
The noises coming from the Dundee camp in the week leading up to the final, relaxed as they have been, is that they don't want to come here for a patronising pat on the back as the First Division team that did well but didn't win anything.
I think that's fair comment. I think just looking at Wraith Rovers last year, they've given everybody the whole of Scottish football positive notes, if you like, because nobody fancied them at all to win the cup against Celtic, and here they won it in penalties.
Certainly no one fancied Wraith when a man called Charlie Nicholas scored for Celtic in that final, but they fought back and got a late equaliser, so perhaps that's the inspiration that Dundee will use.
That was actually another one that was offside in the hands.
Perhaps he'll have something to say about that in a moment. Gary Smith, who's been rock solid.
George Shaw just gets away from him there. Yeah, and he brings him down. Free kick.
Which Verto will take. Five-man line across the edge of the penalty area. Looking for Hamilton. Neil Duffy goes into challenge. It's a good clearance initially. Hamilton tried to catch the goalkeeper off his line, but Watt was very alert there and reacted so well to get back.
He certainly did, but that was a great challenge by Neil Duffy, forcing Michael Watt into the punch here. Here you see it. That's a good save. He collects it well, but it's a good initial challenge from Neil Duffy to force the goalkeeper into a punch and create a chance for Dundee.
Bernard. Now Weghorst. Just caught there by Paul Bernard.
Here you see it, he takes the ball and he's going away from Bernard. Yeah, and he just catches him there.
Jess. Now can he manipulate the space? Glass has made another good run, it's Miller! Joe Miller! Oh, it was a golden opportunity for Miller!
That was a great chance, it really was. Joe will be upset with that. Actually hit the target there. You see Jess coming forward. Joe lets it run through him. And he's got a clear striking goal with his left foot. Fails to hit the target. That was a real chance. Here we see it again. Yeah, you've got to hit the target from here.
He'd done the hard work. He'd made the turn away from Verto. And the finish really benign. Hamilton and Shaw were both waiting to benefit from the fruits of Tosh's work when he thought fouled.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. And here we see it again. Paul Tosh running to Stuart McKimmie, using his pace. And yeah, that's a free kick in my book. I thought it was, but I stuck my neck out. It was a free kick. Yeah.
Disappointed with that, as he will be with the miss a moment ago, and sometimes it's on those sort of incidents that matches like this can turn.
Well, it's on a hinge. I mean, it's on a knife edge, and as I said at half-time, there's a big difference between obviously 1-0 and 2-0. And Joe might be thinking about that. He was looking for somebody to overlap there who just wasn't there. Stephen Glass, I think.
We've had 49 finals before this, and only 7 of them have been won by a single goal. Hamilton. Certainly the way Aberdeen are playing at the moment, they don't feel that 1 goal will be enough. Neil Duffy looking for the run of Shaw. But held off well again by Smith.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, Smith anticipates things very, very well. And he sees things happening early on. And he saw that pass. Here we see the move from
this is the goal again for Dodds.
Stephen Glass here. It's a good cross. And he should have come in, just missing it. It's a good stop initially. And Billy Dodds comes in there. It's a good finish.
It's Dodds' 5th goal in the Scottish Coca-Cola Cup tournament. And it actually takes him level with the leading scorer, who's also on the field today, Dundee's Neil McCann. Jess. Just spinning awkwardly off McQueen, tamely giving away a throw-in. Grant to Jess. Ball from Bernard to McKimmie. Dodds. Shot came back off Manley. McCann running into trouble. Jess. Miller. Here's Glass. Miller. Bernard. Well left by Jess. Might benefit now. Ian Jess! Great save by the goalkeeper because it was well struck by Jess.
That was another real chance. That was the goalkeeper just keeping them out there in a bit unorthodox fashion, but the important thing was he kept it out. But it was a good move again from Aberdeen.
Jess, the man who had that great opening, is now down on the field after that challenge from Vigorst. He's not been penalised with a free kick.
He's certainly involved in the action the last couple of minutes. Here we see it. He goes over, it takes a lovely return ball from Dodds. Slips inside Jim Duffy, it's a good shot, which the goalkeeper keeps out with his feet. It's a good save, actually.
And that's why he's now having treatment
And then 30 seconds later, he's on the receiving end of a tackle from Weghorst.
Was Weghorst indeed, and just not looking too comfortable. I think he'll get to half-time though somehow.
I would think so. I think he'll go in there and he'll get 10 minutes rest and he'll be okay again.
Roy Aitken then, pleased in one respect that his team are ahead, but I wonder just how concerned he is at these opportunities that are going begging. And it's half-time at Hampden Park. And Billy Dodd's goal has helped Aberdeen to assert their Premier Division supremacy over the First Division pretenders to the crown. Will get us restarted. 3 times previously they've won the Scottish League Cup. Last time was back in 1973. Last time they were in the final was in 1980. That was the Dundee derby, and United beat them. The match that day was staged at their own Dens Park ground. Dodds. Break from Glass. It's done well. Shearer will go for it! And it's in! 2-0 to Aberdeen.
Oh, wonderful goal. It really was. Brilliant football down the left-hand side there from Stephen Glass. And Duncan Shearer. Well, don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. Here we see it. Great football from Glass. Lovely cross. And Shearer gets up there and knocks it in. Brilliant goal. What a cross this is. And Shearer gets up above Duffy, and I think it's Virto. And the keeper stranded, but what a cross this is. Lovely cross. It's Duffy and McQueen. And I think it maybe came off the side of his head, but the end product's what he wanted. It's a great goal, it really is. Stephen Glass had a great first half, and he started the second half in similar style. Got down the left-hand side there, took the full-back on, got to the byline and whipped in a great cross. And a wonderful header. And maybe just back to asking for an awful lot from Dundee to come back from this. We'll just see what they're made of now.
Jim Duffy's resilience was tested by the challenge anyway, in going up to meet that header with Duncan Shearer. But Shearer's header counts. And Aberdeen increased the size of Dundee's task through the man who is only in the starting lineup because Scott Booth has a calf injury. As heartbreaking a day as this is for Booth, the injury costing him his place in the team, he'll be very much a part of the celebrations for the part that he's played in the campaign.
Yeah, well, I think so. I think Scott Booth had a great start to the season, both at the Aberdeen set-up and the international set-up. Scored a couple of very important goals, and none more so than the only goal of the game against Finland for Scotland. So although it will blow to him being injured, I think he'll be involved in the celebrations if Aberdeen win the cup.
Here's Glass. Shearer's again waiting in the box, but he and Joe Miller, who's also waiting, have to wait a little longer. Glass, who was also involved in the first goal with the shot that Pajot acrobatically tried to keep out, but only presented the chance to Dodds in the end. Glass's influence has certainly been telling for Aberdeen.
It certainly is. We mentioned at the start of the game that he's one of the most promising youngsters in Scotland, if not Great Britain, and he certainly showed that today.
Bernard finds Miller. Brian Grant. Header away from Duffy. This is Jess. Bernard.
Playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, Ian Jess and Aberdeen.
Shearer, who's pulled wide. Can't keep it in play. But Duncan Shearer has done what Aberdeen hoped he would.
Here we see it. It's a great move from Stephen Glass. It really has taken on Virto and flipped in a tremendous ball. And Shearer getting on the end of it there. It's a great goal, it really is.
Really made his powerful presence felt. And it's no detriment to Scott Booth, but that was the sort of goal that you could have seen him scoring.
That's right. I mean, as I said earlier, Scott Booth scored a few important goals so far this season. None more so, I said, in the Finland game, but he's a different type of player completely to Shearer. I think he's more mobile, does a lot of work outside the box, where Shearer's a predator.
Roy Aitken benefiting from the predatory instincts of Shearer. Aitken all set to win his first trophy in charge of Aberdeen since taking over from Willie Miller last February. Really will be a remarkable turnaround in a side that came so close to being relegated for the first time in their history last season. And it's a great tribute to the way the ranks have pulled together. Grant. Number 9, Bernard. Brian Grant. Dodds. Might fall to Jess. It was well struck and it flashed across the face.
Certainly, there was a good effort there. I think Jess started the move and had the ball. Here we see coming back to him. It's a break of the ball off Virto and Tosh, and it's a good strike there, just wide of the target. But that's the one thing about Ian Jess, he's willing to have a go. He'll never shirk out it, and just off target there.
Certainly can't say the way that second goal has lifted Aberdeen's confidence. Dodds and Shearer hungry for the ball. Neil Duffy this time looking to find a way through. The ball had been laid off to him by Jim Hamilton.
You'd have to say at this stage it looks as though there's only one team in it. I mean, Aberdeen look, as we said, playing with a lot of confidence. It'll take some special for the D to get back in the match, I would think.
Here's Jess. Pinpoint ball to Shearer. Dodds waiting. Billy Dodds can't get there. Great saving challenge from Jim Duffy to deny Dodds.
It really was. It was a great challenge from Jim Duffy because it looked like a tap in at the back post for Billy Dodds. But a great challenge. Here we see it. Yeah, corner. Great challenge from Jim Duffy.
They will have seen Dodds patting Duffy on the pate. Virto's the man who's conceded this corner. Aberdeen's fans all set to celebrate the ending of the lean times. It's 5 years since they won a trophy, the Scottish Cup. Are the good times about to come back to Pittodrie, we wonder. Kimmy going for it. Bernard! Well, it was worth a try, directly hit at the goalkeeper.
That was a good effort, I think everybody, myself included, was expecting the cross there, but Paul Bernard just hit it first time. The ball breaks to him here. McKimmie goes for the ball with recourse and it breaks to him. And he takes a touch. And there's a strike at goal.
Jess. Overhead for Miller. Pass didn't do him too many favours. McCann. McCann really was the great hope for Dundee to provide the inspiration in this final, but hasn't really been able to impose his influence too much on this game. Bernard. Virto's header away. This is McQueen.
Yeah, I think that's fair what you're saying there about Neil McCann. From Dundee's point of view, it's been a bit disappointing that he hasn't been able to flourish, but a lot of the credit must go to Brian Grant for that, who's played him very, very well so far.
Here's Grant. move that had some promise until the final ball went astray. Gave Scottish football a real shake-up when Wraith from the First Division won this trophy last year and ensured their place in Europe. But Dundee's hopes of getting back into this match may well rest on McCann, who's just been caught offside again.
Yep, pretty marginal, but I think he was just off there when he was released.
Dodds, Shearer, Bernard. It's hit strongly for Miller. Shearer! He's whipped in so quickly, hardly gave him time to direct it.
Yeah, that was good football again from Aberdeen. They got the ball wide to Joe Miller, and it's a great cross. Just looks up, and Duncan Shearer's the end of it again.
Really is a fairy tale for Duncan Shearer. We were watching Blackburn in action earlier today in their goalless draw with Arsenal. They had a little spell there, of course. Never really settled. He's been overlooked for the most part in this League Cup campaign. The Queen's cross. Played in by Tosh. Hamilton was hoping there to get a free header, but Smith was as aware as ever. Ingles in the way that time. That's Weghorst. Michael Watts, Scottish under-21 goalkeeper, played 13 times at that level. Weghorst. This is Shaw. Neil Duffy has made the break, and he might still get through. Well played by McKimmie.
Yeah, that was great defending from Stuart McKimmie there. It was a great break forward, all the same, from Neil Duffy, and a lovely through ball from George Shaw. But Stuart McKimmie read the situation very, very well, and they defended it. There's the Virtu challenge in Shearer, and he gets the free kick for it.
A little bit of bumping and barging between the two number 8s.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot in it, actually. Could have went either way.
McCann. Able to pick up the dummy from Hamilton. Ingles giving McCann no room or time to settle into his natural flow.
He's definitely defended very well. Aberdeen as a whole have defended very well today. None more so than John Ingles.
Hamilton's done well. Looked for Shaw. Header away by Smith. Virtu. Twice he tried to feed it through and twice he was denied. This is Miller. McKimmie. To Glass. Dundee have flickered briefly, but now they're retreating again. Wanted the free kick.
Well, that's a strange decision to say the least. That was a free kick, all right.
Throw-in was awarded. This is Glass. Danger really is when you feel persecuted by referees' decisions going against you. The head's already down, drop even more. And although Dundee have smouldered a little bit in this second half, the threat to Michael Watt's goal still hasn't been too potent. Shaw challenging. But Watt has played with confidence whenever questions have been asked of him.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's looked competent in anything that's been asked to do, Michael Watt. At the same time, we haven't really seen Dundee as an attacking force.
McCann. Headed forward by McQueen. McQueen with the back pass. Hamilton, Weghorst. Ball played behind Shaw.
I must admit, I don't think it'll be too long before we see some activity in the Dundee bench. I think they might bring Britton on to try and pose a goal threat.
Miller. Header away by Jim Duffy. Might fall to Jess. Worthy of the effort from Ian Jess.
Yeah, that was a good strike. Turned his body around to get a drive at it with his right peg. I thought he was going to initially hit it with his left foot, but it was a fair enough effort. Yeah, here we see a substitution getting made. I think Jerry Britton's coming on for Paul Tosh.
Yes, Tosh is the player withdrawn. And Jerry Britton, who began his career with Celtic, comes on to try and pep up the attack. Only recently back after a spell injured. We'll see a change of formation then here from Dundee.
They certainly have. I mean, Tosh gave them the option wide on the right, and it looks to me as though Britton's playing a little bit deeper, but I won't be surprised if he moves up front to give Jim Hamilton a hand.
Glass again. Played the ball into some tricky areas of Stephen Glass.
He certainly does. He delivers a lot of quality with that left foot.
This is Shaw. Now Neil Duffy. He's been a big threat all afternoon, but he's been marshalled well again there by Grant.
Yeah, it was good defending from Brian Grant. I must admit, though, it was a good break forward from Neil Duffy. And Dundee look a little bit dangerous when Duffy breaks forward from midfield, but he was very well policed there by Brian Grant. The initial move is it looks as though George Shaw has dropped back to midfield to leave the two up front with Hamilton and Britton.
If anybody's going to do anything for Dundee, it looks like it will be Neil Duffy. He's been the constant threat from the First Division side. Smith. It's Verto to take it. Plenty of blue shirts forward. Verto's cross, Hamilton. McQueen to try and keep the pressure on. But you're always vulnerable to the threat of the counter as Jess strolls forward. Great ball from Jess. This is Miller. Shearer and Dodds in the middle. And Miller just cannot provide for them.
Brilliant from Ian Jess there all the same. broke away in the left and had the vision to switch the ball far right to Joe Miller, who will be disappointed with that cross, because Billy Dodds there a little bit irate as well, because he peeled to the back post and he was unmapped. He would see it. That's a wonderful ball from Jess. And if you watch Billy Dodds there, Duncan Shearer takes the defender to the front post and Dodds was unmapped at the back.
Ian Jess has done his cause no harm with his performance today.
He certainly has. He's a lovely footballer and he'll be part of the international setup for years to come, I would think. Scored his first goal for Scotland in the 5-0 win against San Marino.
Yes, I think he's enjoyed his appearances at Hampden lately. Jim Duffy. Well, the man who challenged him. McQueen. Here's Britain, the substitute. McCann has made the run. 3 were waiting and the cross didn't reach.
Yeah, well, they've certainly picked up a little bit Dundee since Jerry Britton came on. And that was a good ball. He released McCann on the left there.
It is just under 20 minutes, enough time in which for Dundee to mount a revival. The form this season has been spectacular. They've actually scored 50 goals during the course of the entire campaign.
That's quite a figure, I didn't know that.
Hamilton provided 11 of them.
I think Aberdeen have got to be fairly happy at this stage. They've scored the goal earlier on in the second half with Shearer and they've consolidated it. And as I said earlier on, I think it will take a mighty effort from Dundee to get back in the game. I think at this stage, John Ingles and Gary Smith marshal and Aberdeen defence very, very well, and they look pretty solid.
Here's Manley. Ball came off Dodds for the throw. Britain. Looking for Shearer. Laid off well to Miller. Joe Miller! And he almost rectified his previous misses. That's the best that he's done with an effort at goal.
It's a great effort. Lovely layoff from Shearer. And there's only one thing on Joe Miller's mind, that's to have the pot at goal, and that's not far away. It's a great strike.
Scorching effort.
I think the goalkeeper was happy to see that, just go the right side of the post for him.
Miller. Hamilton. Vigost has made the break into the box. Comfortable header back from McKimmie. Here's Shearer. Grant. Jess. This is George Shaw. Hamilton and McCann are both waiting. Manley's come forward to join them from the back as well. This is Manley. Good work from Neil McCann. And the shot deflected and well held by Michael Watt.
Yeah, that was encouraging football there from Dundee. A good effort from Neil McCann. I think Jim Hamilton was a little bit upset he didn't slip on the ball there, but good football here this year from McCann. And he could maybe just have slipped it to Hamilton in number 10, but quite right to have the effort as well.
Well, there'd have been some irony if McCann had scored there, because they're planning to replace him. That man Anderson is the one who's intending to come on, but I wonder if they'll be shuffling for a different number now. And Shearer is offside. By putting the ball into the side netting, the change can now be made. And McCann, who's had a largely disappointing afternoon, goes off, and young Ian Anderson comes on to replace him.
Yeah, that's a move that surprises me a little, because I think from the Dundee's point of view, they were maybe relying a little bit too heavily on McCann, and he just couldn't get into the game this afternoon. But as I said earlier on, a lot of that was down to the fact that Brian Grant's played him so very, very well.
20 minutes left. This is Weghorst. Britain. Good try.
Yeah, that was a good effort. Nice football from Weghorst. Released Britain, he cut inside, and a great effort with his left foot. Here you see it. And I think Michael Watts sees it just a little bit late. Yep, it's a good save. It's a better save than the first thought.
At least they're giving Watts something to do at last. Anderson's corner cleared to Jim Duffy. Here's McQueen. Well, they were talking of this game in terms of a 35,000 sellout. The official figure, 33,096. Seeing Roy Aitken's team leading by 2-0. So presumably the 2,000 shortfall will be held responsible for the postal dispute and the tickets that never reach their destinations.
I think those posters have got a lot to answer for.
Maybe the Dundee fans will be happy they didn't get there the way the game's going forward.
I don't know about that.
Brian Grant very committed. Here's Weghorst. McQueen. And Anderson wins the corner off Jess.
I said earlier, I think the Dundee certainly picked up with the two substitutions they've made, Anderson and Britton. They've injected a little bit of life into the Dundee side.
McQueen. Manley up there. Anderson! Well, that really would have been a fairy tale, wouldn't it? The substitute coming on and scoring.
It certainly would have. I think he just snatched it a little. The volley came to him and he just snatched it. Here we see it, the ball breaks to him from a couple of headers there. Yeah.
All credit to their spirit, Dundee. They may be 2-0 down. They're still making a decent battle of it. McQueen. Twice before, Dundee have experienced the feelings of being runners-up in this League Cup final. Can they avoid that fate happening for a third time? This is certainly as good a spell as they've had in the match.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think Dundee are playing with a little bit more confidence now.
Shaw's corner. Manley got up there.
Yep, you're right what you said there. It's definitely Dundee's best spell, and a lot of the credit must go down to the two substitutions they've made.
This was a powerful climb by the defender. I think his sight of goal was well obstructed. Manley again. This is Dodds. Miller. Fran Grant. Miller. Fran Grant disappointing with the end product.
Yeah, the cross wasn't great, but Aberdeen, they certainly do play some good football.
Dundee free kick here having to be retaken when referee Mottram's happy about the positioning of it. Aberdeen, certainly a club who you associate with success over the years. League champions 4 times, cup winners back in 1983. So they'll be hoping this is the start of bigger things. Miller showing a fair bit of spirit to win the throw-in.
Yeah, they certainly were a great side in the 80s when Alex Ferguson was the manager. I think one of the best sides in Britain, and they proved that by winning the Cup Winners' Cup and they beat Real Madrid in the final in Gothenburg, I think it was.
Certainly the players who join the club do so in the hope of, through it being a big club, winning trophies. Certainly that's what Billy Dodd said when he joined. But he moved to Pittodrie intending to win cups, and all he faced in his first season there was a battle against relegation. But here they are on the brink of their first success with him at the club, and Dodds has contributed to it with the first goal. Jess. Tackled by Britton. Shearer, who got the second goal. Grant. He's looking for more movement from Miller. Well, he may be 14 minutes away from winning his first trophy as Aberdeen manager. Wouldn't guess it, actually, looking at him, would you?
I've seen that face a few times, actually. I've been the receiver end of that face a few times, actually.
The League Cup, actually, is not a competition that's been too kind to Roy Aitken over the years. Only won it once in his time with Celtic. And that was from 6 appearances in the final. Berto's throw. Manley's header goes straight to Miller. Jim Duffy's clearance. Ingles in there commandingly. This is Jess. Smith. Bernard to Joe Miller. Dodds. Not given a clear sight that time, Dodds.
That was a little bit of a half chance as well. Good football again from Joe Miller, wide on the right.
Reaching out for the back header from McKimmie.
One of the major factors about Joe Miller's play is he's good in the sense that he'll whip in an early cross. You can take people on and get to the byline, but at the same time he's prepared to whip in an early cross, which is ideal for forwards.
You might think that the way things are going, Aberdeen would want to leave matters fairly well settled. But the change is about to be made, and Joe Miller will be the man withdrawn.
Well, that was inevitable after I sang his praises there, wasn't it? Yeah, I think Joe Miller will be fairly happy with his contribution today. Played fairly well.
And Hugh Robertson gets his Big chance in the final, just 20 years of age. Really, Aberdeen have made their experience tell.
Yeah, they certainly have. That's another good point I was going to make. There's a lot. One of the good things to come out of today's game. There's a lot of young talent out there in the shape of McCann and Robertson and people like that, and of course Glass. So the much maligned Scottish game at the moment, I think it's very, very encouraging that there is a lot of young talent coming through.
Ones of the old heads aren't bad either.
Some older than others.
Here's Anderson. Coming away this time. Robertson's first chance to shine. And he's made progress. Dodds is scampering into the box, so too is Shearer, goes for glory.
That was quite an opening to the game from Robertson, I'll tell you. He did very well down the left flank there and whipped in a good ball. Just unfortunately the goalkeeper got there before Dodds.
Here's Jess. Dodds pulls to the left and he's offside.
Yeah, I think Billy Dodds a little bit upset that Ian Jess didn't release him earlier. He ran across the line and then went forward, just caught offside.
Aberdeen then 9 minutes away from ending their 5-year trophy drought. Britain could build up this from Dundee, but while 4 were waiting, Shaw couldn't deliver the cross. Here's Berto. Shaw. Tackle coming in on Anderson. Certainly the Aberdonians are making their voices heard at Hampden Park now. Completely sold out there. 17,000 allocation of tickets. And for the people who invested in the recent £2 million share issue, this is an immediate dividend. Shearer just caught there.
Yep, I think Aberdeen fans, as you said, they've had 4 or 5 barren years without a trophy, but it looks as though that's going to change today. And there are a lot of happy folk up in Granite City, I think, this evening.
It's another change. Dusan Berto, the Slovakian, is coming off. And on to replace him is Ray Farningham. Disappointing day for Jim Duffy. Unless matters can turn around in the final 7 minutes. Considered the corner, despite what he may think.
Typical Jim Duffy, all I see, as competitive as ever. 5 or 6 minutes to go and he's wanting a corner, he's got by kick, he's wanting everything, tackling everything.
That's with the corner. And cleared in the end by Britain. Jim Duffy knew, though, that this was not only his first chance to win a major final, but very probably his last as well. Certainly as a player. He'll hope that he has a long and fruitful management career ahead of him. And you can't really understate the impact that he's had at Dens Park since he's been in charge.
He certainly has. He's done remarkably well. He's got the Dundee side back playing some good football. And as I said earlier, a lot of good youngsters coming through. I think Jim Duffy's been a great advert for Scottish football.
Won the high praise from his chairman in the build-up. Here's Shaw. Hamilton and Neil Duffy are both waiting if the cross can be provided. This is Weghorst. And well, it looked a good opening for Britain, but he didn't really catch it as cleanly as he wanted.
No, he never caught it at all. I think, to be fair to him, Weghorst gave him the ball a little bit late. Jerry Britton was looking for it earlier and just sliced it wide of the target.
The time is certainly Michael Watt's to waste. And Shearer tries to play that ball through. Billy Dodds ruled offside. Wonder who Gordon Strachan was supporting as he...
I don't think he can lose, Gordon. Having played for both sides.
Started his career at Dundee, of course, and then was there for the glory years of Aberdeen. McQueen, Weghorst. Britain. Still pursuing late glory for Dundee, Jerry Britton, but not much joy there.
A little bit unlucky, but I'll say one thing for him, he's onto the face of the attack, if you like, and he's prepared to have a go. He's taking the ball into his feet, and he's had more shots at the Aberdeen goal, I think, than any other Dundee player.
Even at this late stage, Aberdeen are going to make another change. And Ian Jess, who's orchestrating in the midfield, has been such a key part, comes off. And Peter Heatherstone is the man who comes on to replace him.
This is quite a nice story, actually. It's great to see Peter Heatherstone on the cup unhanded part there, because he left Raith Rovers and he's moved to Aberdeen, and Raith Rovers went on to win the cup last year, so it's nice to see him get a little bit of glory there.
That's right, he was another one who said he left because he wanted to win trophies. The club he left behind got the glory. Shearer. And Duffy clears. So the Raith manager, Jimmy Nicholl, will be happy, because he said that's what he'd hoped for, wasn't it? Heatherstone coming on.
That's what he said.
Good ball from Hamilton. Great opening here with the goalkeeper having committed himself. Well, it looks like Anderson has taken it too wide and too far. And that may well be Dundee's last hope of troubling the scorers.
Yep, I think that was a wonderful ball. It really was, to release Anderson here. And I think he shaped to hit it, and with hindsight he should have hit it, because he didn't have the support up there and tried to control it, but the chance was gone. But it was a great ball that released him, and I feel he should have hit the ball early.
Related moment of madness from Michael Watt. Could have been quite costly. Heatherstone now in hold. But Bernard's cross well astray.
Yeah, there's one or two occasions where Aberdeen have got themselves in good positions wide, and the final cross has let them down, the final ball. But that was definitely Dundee's best chance of scoring today, I think.
Header by Smith. This is Jim Duffy. Hamilton. Quite comfortably left by Grant. Shearer and Dodds, the two Aberdeen scorers. This is Robertson on a break. Glass has powered his way into the box, so too is Shearer. And Pajot claims it. But
Yeah, that
another
was a good
scare.
save. That was a great save. A good break. Wide on the left again from Aberdeen, but a good save.
Here's Vigorst. Just took it on too far. And Ingles tidies up. Clock in the top left of your screen will tell you Aberdeen are half a minute away from winning the first domestic trophy of the season. A trophy that must have seemed well far in the distance for Roy Aitken when he took over from Willie Miller. Spirit at the club was at an all-time low. He rallied the troops to mount a successful campaign against relegation, and now there's a pot of silver at the end of the rainbow for him.
It certainly is, and I think, to be fair, Aberdeen have deserved a victory today. They've looked the better side. They've defended really, really well, and they've got two goal predators in the shape of Dodge and Shearer.
Header by Ingles.
I tell you, he's been outstanding today, John Ingles. He really has.
Well, they're getting ready for the celebrations already. Hampden Park alive.
I imagine there'll be a few drinks getting bought up in Aberdeen tonight. I don't know who's going to buy them, but I think Aberdeen will be the place to be tonight.
Even the late scare not too serious to Michael Watt's goal. Poised to win a League Cup medal. All eyes on referee Les Mottram. This is Shearer. Duncan Shearer going for the glory of a second goal for himself and a third for Aberdeen, when others may have been in better positions. It's all a formality now, is it? It is. The referee has blown the final whistle, and Aberdeen's trophy famine is over. They've won the Coca-Cola Cup. Duncan Shearer, who wasn't even supposed to be in the team, got the second goal. Well, now Stuart McKimmie, who is the first Aberdeen-born captain to captain the Don since Martin Buchan, now will collect the trophy from Gavin Darby of Coca-Cola. Well, now Stuart McKimmie, who said he stood in line behind Willie Miller wondering what it was like to lift a trophy. Well, now Stuart McKimmie has that feeling, and the rest of the players get the touch as well. John Ingles, who played such an important part at the back for them. Michael Watt, who may not have expected to be in the team at the start of the week. Stephen Glass, who set up both the goals with telling runs in from the left. And Billy Dodds, the man who set them on their way with the first goal. Right through the team. Crucial contributions.